Hello guys, this is Dale with Small Louisiana Homestead. Welcome back. Today I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a little tour of my vegetable garden and kind of show y'all what I got planted for this spring. And like I said in my last video, I'm kind of already all in, so I didn't get to show y'all any planting or starting seedlings and whatnot. So I'm just going to show y'all what I got going on here. In this area right here, if you can see, this is called a Tom bunching onion. I got that from Horse Tools, and no, I am not affiliated with any of these seed companies that I'm about to tell you about. All of this I buy with my hard-earned money, so I get no royalties from any of these companies. This right here is one of my potato beds. This on this side, if you can see, these are all fingerling potatoes. My labels on everything kind of washed away, so I think it's a little white fingerling potato, I believe. The big tall ones right here on this side, these are Yukon Gold potatoes. You can see I had a little bug pressure in the beginning. If you can see right here, all the little mark where they ate at. I did have a problem with some armyworms on these plants, and I didn't spray anything. The only thing I did spray was a little bit of neem oil and Dawn dish soap. That works to get them, or you can just squash them with your hand. That's normally what I do. These two beds right here, these are sweet potato beds. I think they're Beauregard sweet potatoes. These are some sweet potato slips. I've been growing every year. I just get them off the potatoes. You can grow your slips. I'll show you a big video on that next time, as soon as I can start getting back into potato slips next year. In this bed right here, I got some bell peppers. Let's see, I got some sweet banana peppers right here. This is sweet banana pepper plant. I think that's this whole little row right here. Kind of got them mixed up. Some green bell peppers, along with a giant marigold. That's what this is right here. These get ready to make a flower. These things get really huge. I got some coming to down here that I'm gonna show you. I may have to put one of them little trellising sticks or something to hold it up. This bed right here, I got actually two beds of this. This is lima beans, Ford Hook lima beans, and crossing that bed right here too. That's all the same thing right there. That I'm gonna probably show you how I'm gonna put a trellis on, because you can see how they're starting to wanna climb. Last year I planted the same lima bean, and I had some that stayed as a bush, and I had some that started climbing the fence line where I had them planted last year. So kind of never know with these things. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm gonna just go ahead and put a trellis anyway. I'm gonna let the ones that want to climb climb, the ones that don't. This bed is mainly giant bell peppers. I don't have any banana pepper in this bed, I don't believe. I lose track of this sometimes. I got so much stuff. You can see these marigolds are getting bigger and bigger the further I go down. And I've been keeping an eye on for aphids. I had found a very few, I think about a week ago. But if you want to find aphids, they'll be like when I'm checking underneath the bottom of the leaf. You'll see them. It's like a little bit of green, little Martian looking little bug. And they're normally in clusters if they are on there. But you don't have to check every leaf when you come out to your garden. You just check a few on each plant, because if they're on there, you'll see them. But I think, yeah, about 2 weeks ago, I had found like one or two of them. So it ain't, the bug pressure hasn't been that bad, surprisingly, for me this year so far. Now, it hasn't got that deep South Louisiana heat in yet, but that's coming. Let's see, this one you can see we got a little pepper coming out, little bell pepper right there. First little bell pepper, I think. yeah. All right, this is my tomatoes. You can see they're getting really wild. Got a bunch of little tomatoes on here. This is what is this one? The big beef. Okay, yeah, big beef tomato. And I got more cherry tomatoes than anything else this year. I wanted a bunch of cherry tomatoes. You see on that coming along. These right here is a pink tomato. That's a pack of seeds I had bought from Home Depot last year. And they didn't do too well last year. I think I made one. So I planted, I got 2 plants now. I'm gonna try again. See how that turns out. See all these little cherry tomatoes on this vine right here. Got a bunch of them coming. Look at that one. That one's got a bunch on it. This marigold right here. It's starting to bloom. It's the yellow one that I got. See how big that plant is. I'm gonna have to put something to hold it up. Been raining for 2 days now. Today's the only break for 2 days so far. So that was kind of laying down in the rain and the wind, so it looked like it stood back up. This right here is another, it's 2 more potato beds that I have planted. Both of them are fingerling potatoes. I think some little red ones, I believe. Like I said, my label's all washed away. I didn't do too much of a good job on that this year. Got a little bug pressure coming. So you got a little caterpillar right here. Trying to get turn into a butterfly, I guess, but you just knock them off. I don't know if that's a stinging one or what, but you just squash them, get them off your plant. Or if you want to spray anything, I don't spray any chemicals. I just spray, like I said, neem oil. And I mix a little bit of Dawn soap in it. It works on contact. It's not something that you can spray with no bugs and expect them to die days later. You gotta kind of get them while they're in action with that. As far as I know, I'm not a professional, but that's all my experience. This little bed right here is a Goldilocks string bean. It's gonna be a yellow string bean, which actually doesn't stay yellow when you cook them. It turns green like a regular green bean, but this is something new I wanted to try. So we'll see how that turns out in the future. This right here is my patty pan squash. That's what I call them, patty pans. The proper name, I think, what is it? Sunburst squash. You can see I got a bug netting on it. Let me see if I can zoom back a little bit. There you go. Zoom back, excuse me. Bug netting on here to keep the vine borer bug off the plant, which it looks like it has worked. But the only problem with this bug netting is that you're gonna have to take this off so your pollinators can get to the flowers. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see that. You can see like the little flowers are starting to come off of the plant. So I'm gonna have to pull this off soon. And if I do, I'm gonna have to keep checking for eggs. I'm gonna have to show you what that looks like if I do see any. I had some on my, well, actually we're gonna go to that bed now. I already showed you this. This is the lima bean. This is the other squash plants that I did not have covered with the bug netting. So normally I come check around the, you know, underneath the leaves, and sometimes they even put them on top of the leaves, believe it or not. And or like on that stem at the bottom down right here. You have to dig down a little bit. Sometimes they go a little bit below the soil, and you'll see a bunch of little red dots, you know, along that little stem. And I had pulled them off and squashed them about 2 weeks ago, I guess. I had some of those, and that's because I didn't have the bug netting. So now that I planted these squash and those squash the same time, and look how much bigger those are than these are. I don't know if it's because of the type of squash. They're both summer squash, but these kind of came up way later than those for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. Okay, so let's see. This right here, that's a little thing of zinnias that I planted. Those are about to bloom. They ain't bloomed yet, but they're about to. All right. This up here is a fig tree that I had planted for a couple years now. Looks like I'm gonna have a good fig year this year. We'll have to see. It's definitely gonna be better than the last 2 years were. And right here, I planted another one. I had made one off of that big one, and I'm gonna let that one kind of catch up to that one. And this right here are new additions. I found 2 blueberry bushes at Home Depot. They had on a kind of a little clearance sale, so I picked those up. I'm gonna try those out. I planted blueberries before and never had much good luck with them, but I'm trying something different with them this round. And you can see here I got my irrigation hooked to them to make sure they stay moist, and that irrigation is throughout this garden here. All right, these are my pickling cucumber. This is a Max Pack cucumber. They're coming along pretty good. I want to let that vine all over on this fence right here, and probably do a video on fermenting pickles, and I'm gonna show you how to do a regular vinegar pickle. And this is just some green onions that I planted. It's like a regular bunch of onion, but not technically a bunch of onion. It's like a green onion. So those are probably about to be ready to pull, and I'll clear that bed out. All right, let's take a little stroll on the other side here. I don't have much on this side, but I wanted to talk to y'all about a few things over here. This bed hasn't came up yet, but I just planted this. These are rhizomes, turmeric rhizomes. That's all this bed is gonna be for. It's just that. I'm gonna let that come back every year and just pick and replant every year. These 2 little bags right here are just some store-bought potatoes I had that started green sprouting in the house. Or chitting is another name for that. Whenever you have a potato that sits too long in your house or in your kitchen, and it starts to make those little nodes, that means they were out of dormancy and ready to go to seed. So I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but I know some people do them and they make a few potatoes, and some make a bunch of small ones. But instead of throwing them away, I planted them and see what I can get out of it. Now this bed right here, I put right here months ago. It's the first time I planted in this bed. You can see how miserable these plants look. This is, I think these are either a banana sweet or a bell pepper. And these 2 tomatoes right here, and then got that one little eggplant, another eggplant, and this little eggplant. All the dirt and everything is all the same as anywhere else in my garden. All these plants right here are the same age as everything I just showed y'all on the other side. So I don't know really what's going on with them, except the only thing that I can think of is that there's not enough sunlight. And you can see how I got this building right here, and then now it's only about 2 o'clock, and it's already shaded. I'm thinking I'm getting only probably about 2 to 3 hours of sun right here between these 2 buildings a day. So it's probably not enough sun, if I had to guess, which I'm pretty sure is probably what the problem is. But anyway, I just pretty much gonna use that bed as my overflow bed, and when I got too much, if I plant too much and whatnot. So okay, and this is the actual last bed. This is full of potatoes, this bed. These are the red Pontiac. I got 2 rows of red Pontiac here. Potatoes, and on this side are the Baltic Rose. I got from Prairie Family Farm, I think it is. Online, I had all of those. Those really are not doing too great. They're okay, but I have some places where they didn't even sprout at. See this big old gap right here? I have some that didn't even come up. But let me see how they're starting to make a little flower here. They make pretty little flowers. These over here already made flowers about a week ago. But the bug pressure right here ain't as bad as what I had on the other side. But oh, and these are from Groonies Online Seed Company. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with any of these companies. This is just seeds that I bought myself. So okay, I mean that's pretty much it for the most part. I do have it right here in the future. We'll be expanding in the future, and I'll show all of y'all that. I'll show you how to either build some beds like what I already have here. You know, mainly that's all I have are wooden beds, except for that little one I showed you over here. I bought from Amazon, the one that has the turmeric in it, $36. It's a 2x4. It's built well. You know, it's definitely probably gonna last longer than wood, I'm sure. So I don't know, I may start expanding with those or get something bigger or go back with wood. I'm not sure. I'll decide later on, I guess. And you know, show y'all videos on that. And this is my composting area. That's where I put on any you know, droppings from my gardens, leaves or old plants or whatever. I let all that compost down, and then I let that turn to dirt, and then I'll put it inside my garden and my boxes and all that. So I think that's pretty much it. But I thank y'all for joining me on this little tour. Hopefully that helped y'all out for any ideas that y'all want to try and grow a few things in y'all yard. And you know, like I said, this whole channel is about planting food without having, you know, 30 acres or 10 acres of land and all this other stuff. You know, you don't really need all that. All you need is a little yard like this, and that's all I got. This little bit of yard. And I got all this food growing. All this food growing, and fig trees, all of that. And you can see I forgot to point out my shade cloth. This is the actual first full year I'm gonna have this on. So it cuts off about, I think it only allows 60%, I think, of the sun, you know, in there on the plants. So that's something I'm trying new, because last year I didn't have it, and it was rough on my tomato plants, bell peppers. It was rough. So I thank y'all very much for joining me here, and I hope to see y'all on the next video. Thank y'all, and God bless.